here, so many old friends, I can recognize face, and as Peter from moderates. I actually have pretty much the same opinions with Mr. Hu, but I have my obligation, so I have to say something. I think it's very important today to remember what happened in Tiananmen Square 30 years ago, not only because we were victims, Tiananmen veterans, just because the whole world think we come here for the sake of the whole world, because I think it's the time to really recognize the true face of China. What lesson we can learn from what happened in 13 years? That's the point I want to make. I still remember when I was 20 years old, when I was young, and we went to the street, we protest. I have to admit that we were naive. Why? Because we put our hope on CCP. That's the reason, that's maybe the only reason we go to the street. We did not want to take responsibility to change the world, change the country, but we put our hope on the CCP, and we hope they can change the country. That's why we went to the street, and we were naive after Tiananmen massacre. And we realized from that massacre that democracy is the enemy of the CCP. Whatever they open and reform and look like liberal leaders, but if you want democracy, you will be enemy of state and your state. That's the true CCP. But it's only us naive at that time. I think the whole world, not only us, the whole world was naive at that time. After that bloody massacre, the whole Western countries put a sanction on China, including Japan. Remember, after only 2 years, they all called it off, the sanction. They restored the sanction. Why? Because they still, Western countries and the Japan government still have hope for CCP as naive as us. They believe with cooperation or engagement with China, maybe China will have a rapid economic growth, then they will have a middle class, then there's democracy. But after 30 years, we all realize it's so naive. It's not only us naive, the whole world naive. So my question is it time for us now, for the whole democratic countries now to re-recognize the true face of CCP and try to learn some lessons from Tiananmen massacre? This is a very important challenge for the whole world, because now China is a rising power and seems like a threat for the democracy and the freedom of the whole world. This is very important to remember what happened in Tiananmen Square 30 years ago. So, well, I don't need to give answer to government. It's the government's responsibility to try to learn some lesson from their relationship with China 30 years ago. But my next question is, now after 30 years, China become a powerful country, have a lot of money, and the huge military force and a threat for democratic countries. How can we solve this problem? We already say there's a trade war between the United States and China. Maybe in the future there are more troubles. I think China, CCP become a troublemaker for the whole world. But how can we deal with this troublemaker? I still remember when I was arrested after the Tiananmen massacre. I was arrested twice, actually. It's an interesting experience. But I was arrested twice and served my term twice in jail. Finally, I was released to the United States. I didn't die in the jail. Why? Because because I'm kind of like a panda, you know. If China wants to try to get something from the United States, they trade me to the United States, then President Clinton can visit Beijing. At that time, there's a link between trade and economic issue and human rights issues, and that's why I can be released. And you remember Liu Xiaobo? He's even Nobel Prize winner, and he died in jail. Why? Because there's no link between trade and human rights issues. So now China become a threat for freedom world, and in my opinion, I think it is time to relink trade and human rights issues. That might be only way to deal with this problem. And I know a lot of Western countries don't want to ruin their relationship with China, and they don't want to see any regime change happen in China. But I have to say, if there's no regime change, nothing can be resolved. That's my point. Thank you very much.